The doorbell rang just as I was about to head out for my evening run. I opened the door to find Mr. Harlan, my 53-year-old neighbor from across the street, standing there with a sheepish grin, holding a router in his hands like it was a fragile artifact. "Easton, buddy, my Wi-Fi's acting up again. Mind taking a look?" he asked, his voice carrying that familiar Midwestern drawl that always made him seem harmless. I sighed inwardly but nodded. At 25, fresh out of college and back home in suburban Chicago while job hunting, I was the go-to tech guy for the neighborhood. Mr. Harlan, widowed, retired teacher, pillar of the community, had called on me before. But as I stepped into his neatly kept living room, something felt off. The air was thick with the scent of fresh coffee, and he lingered a bit too close while I fiddled with the cables. It started innocently enough. We chatted about the Cubs' latest game, the endless Illinois winters, my job search in graphic design. But then, as I rebooted the system, he placed a hand on my shoulder. Firm, lingering. "You've grown into quite the man, Easton," he said softly, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that sent a chill down my spine. I pulled away, muttering something about the connection stabilizing, but my heart raced. That touch wasn't neighborly. It was something else entirely. By the time I left, the Wi-Fi was fixed, but I couldn't shake the unease. That night, as I lay in bed, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Thank you for today. There's more I want to say. Tom Harlan." My stomach dropped. How did he get my number? And why did more feel like a loaded word? The next morning, I avoided looking across the street, but fate, or whatever cruel twist life throws, had other plans. My parents, devout Catholics with roots in the old neighborhood, invited the Harlans over for a barbecue years ago, but since Mrs. Harlan passed, it was just Tom. Dad clapped me on the back at breakfast. "Help Tom with his yard work this weekend, son. Man's been through hell losing his wife." I nodded, but inside, turmoil brewed. I'd been hiding my own secret for years. I was gay, and the last thing I needed was complications from a straight, older neighbor who suddenly seemed interested. Days blurred into a routine of evasion. I'd wave politely if I saw him mowing his lawn, but I kept interactions brief. Yet Tom persisted. Another text. "Coffee sometime? We could talk about life." I ignored it. Then, at the local grocery store, he cornered me in the produce aisle. "Easton, have I offended you?" His eyes, blue and piercing, held a vulnerability I'd never seen. "No, just busy," I lied, grabbing apples and fleeing. But the hook sank deeper when I confided in my best friend, Jamie. We'd been inseparable since high school, both navigating our identities in a town where being gay meant whispers and judgment. "Dude, that's creepy," Jamie said over beers at our favorite dive bar. "Block him." I agreed, but part of me wondered if I was misreading signals. Was Tom just lonely? The turning point came on a rainy Thursday. A knock at the door, Tom drenched, holding a toolbox. "Your dad mentioned your car's been stalling. Thought I'd check the battery." Before I could protest, he was under the hood in our driveway. My mom beamed from the kitchen window, ever the matchmaker for good deeds. As he worked, he glanced up. "Easton, I'm not good at this, but I think I'm falling for you." The words hit like a thunderclap. I froze, tools clattering. "What?" I whispered, glancing around to ensure no one heard. Tom's face flushed. "I've known for years, watching you grow up. But after Mary died, I realized. I've always been this way. Suppressed it for the family, the church, everything." He stepped closer, rain mixing with what might have been tears. "Please, say something." I backed away, heart pounding. "You're married, we're married. You have kids my age." But his confession cracked open my own Pandora's box. I dated guys in college, kept it from my parents, fearing their disapproval. Now this? It was madness. I slammed the car hood and stormed inside, leaving him in the rain. That night, sleep evaded me. Tom's words echoed. Suppressed for the family. It mirrored my life, smiling at family dinners while dying inside. But pursuing this? It would shatter everything. My phone buzzed again. "I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. Too late. The seed was planted. Over the next week, I wrestled with it. Curiosity gnawed. One evening, I crossed the street, knocking on his door. He answered, surprised. "Can we talk?" I asked. Inside, over coffee, he poured out his story. A loveless marriage to please his parents, secret crushes on men buried deep, therapy sessions after his wife's death revealing his true self. "I'm not asking for anything," he said. "Just understanding." But understanding led to connection. We talked for hours about books, dreams, the weight of societal expectations. For the first time, I felt seen, not just as the good son, but as me. Yet, guilt twisted in my gut. What if my family found out? What about the age gap, the neighborhood gossip? As I left, he hugged me briefly, warm, platonic. But the spark was there, undeniable. Driving home, I realized, this could be love, or it could be my undoing. The days following our talk blurred into a dangerous rhythm. I'd find excuses to visit Tom, borrowing a book, discussing a news article. Each conversation peeled back layers. His regrets over a life half-lived, my fears of coming out. "Society's changing," he'd say, "but not fast enough for guys like us." I nodded, but inside, conflict raged. Was this attraction real or just shared pain? My parents noticed my absences. "Where you off to now?" Dad grumbled one evening, eyes narrowing over his newspaper. "Just helping Mr. Harlan with some stuff," I replied, avoiding his gaze. Mom smiled. "That's sweet. He's been so alone. If only they knew." Jamie sensed something too. At our weekly hangout, he grilled me. "You're seeing him, aren't you?" I denied it, but my flush gave me away. "Easton, this is insane. He's old enough to be your dad. What if it blows up?" His words stung because they echoed my doubts. But Tom's kindness, his quiet strength, drew me in. Our first real moment came during a late-night walk in the park. The air was crisp, stars bright above the Chicago suburbs. "I've never felt this free," Tom confessed, our hands brushing accidentally or not. I didn't pull away. "Me neither," I admitted. That brush turned into a held hand, hidden in the shadows. It was innocent but electric. Back home, reality crashed. My sister, Lisa, visiting from college, cornered me. "I saw you with Mr. Harlan last night. What's going on?" Panic surged. "Nothing, just talking." She raised an eyebrow. Looked cozy. I laughed it off, but her suspicion planted seeds of paranoia. The pressure built. Tom wanted more, dinners out but discreet. "We can't be open here," he said. "My reputation, your family." It felt like hiding, which I'd sworn never to do again after college. Yet I agreed, drawn to the thrill. Then betrayal struck. Jamie, drunk at a party, let slip to mutual friends. "Easton is hooking up with that old dude next door." Whispers spread like wildfire. By Monday, stares followed me at the coffee shop. "Is it true?" a neighbor asked outright. I denied, but damage was done. Confronting Jamie, fury boiled. "Why?" He shrugged, eyes cold. "You're making a mistake. I was protecting you." Protecting? Felt like sabotage. Our friendship cracked. Years of trust eroded in an instant. Tom was devastated. "This town's too small," he said, pacing his living room. "We have to stop." But stopping hurt more. "No," I insisted. "We fight this." Yet doubt crept in. Was love worth the fallout? Family dinner that week was tense. Dad mentioned the rumors casually. "Heard some nonsense about you and Tom Harlan." Ridiculous, right? I nodded, throat tight. Mom changed the subject, but her worried glance spoke volumes. Alone, I questioned everything. Tom's age brought wisdom, but also baggage. Adult kids who idolized him as the perfect father. What if they found out? My own moral compass spun. Was pursuing the selfish or brave? A turning point. Tom invited me to his cabin up north for a weekend. Just to think. I went, heart racing. There, amid pine trees and lake views, we shared stories unfiltered. "I love you, Easton," he said one night by the fire. The words hung, beautiful and terrifying. I reciprocated, but with caveats. This could destroy us. He nodded. But isn't that the price of truth? Returning home, the high faded. Lisa pulled me aside. I know about you being gay. And him. Shock froze me. How? Jamie told me. He's worried. Betrayal deepened. Jamie, my confidant, outing me? I confronted him again. You told my sister? Tears welled in his eyes. I love you, Easton, as more than friends. Seeing you with him killed me. The revelation hit like a gut punch. Jamie's jealousy fueled the leak. Friendship turned to rivalry, trust to ashes. Now, choices loomed. Cut ties with Tom to salvage my life, or embrace it and face the storm. The fallout from Jamie's confession rippled outward. I distanced myself from him, blocking his number, but the damage lingered. Whispers at family gatherings, awkward silences with friends. You okay, son? Dad asked one morning, concern etching his face. I brushed it off, but inside walls crumbled. Tom and I met secretly, a coffee shop in the next town, walks in secluded parks. Each encounter deepened our bond, but paranoia shadowed us. What if someone sees? I'd whisper. He'd squeeze my hand. Then we'd deal with it. But dealing meant confronting realities. Tom's son, Mark, 28 and married, visited unexpectedly. Over dinner at Tom's, I was introduced as the neighbor kid helping with tech. Mark's handshake was firm, his eyes appraising. Dad talks about you a lot. Unease prickled. Did he suspect? Later, Tom confessed. Mark's traditional. If he knew. The unfinished sentence hung heavy. I pushed. We have to tell people eventually. He hesitated. Not yet. Give it time. Time, however, accelerated conflict. My job search landed an interview in the city, graphic designer for a progressive firm. Excited, I shared with Tom. This could be my out. Move downtown, start fresh. His face fell. Without me. The age gap reared. I craved independence. He sought stability. Argument ensued. You're asking me to uproot my life, he said. And you're content hiding forever? I shot back. Hurt flashed in his eyes, but we reconciled with apologies. Promises to figure it out. Society's weight pressed harder. At a community event, a local pastor preached against moral decay. Eyes seemingly on me. Neighbors gossiped. That Harlan's acting strange since his wife died. Defensiveness rose. I wanted to shout our truth, but fear silenced me. Then a moral dilemma, my cousin's wedding. Family expected me dateless, as always. Tom suggested I go alone. Don't rock the boat. But resentment built. Why hide while straight couples flaunted? I attended, but midway, a text from Tom. Miss you. Warmth mixed with anger. Dancing with relatives, I imagined him there, open. Post-wedding, I drove to his house, unannounced. We can't keep this up, I said. It's killing me. Tears flowed, his mine. I know, he admitted. But my kids. The church. Choices crystallized. Continue in shadows or demand light. Betrayal came from within. Doubting Tom's commitment, I snooped his phone. Text to an ex-colleague, vague but flirty. Confrontation exploded. Who is he? Tom paled. Just a friend from my past. Nothing happened. But trust fractured. You're not all in, I accused. He broke down. I'm terrified, Easton. Losing everything for this. The raw honesty pierced. We were both paying prices, him his facade. Me my youth. Reconciliation was tentative. We agreed to therapy, separate sessions, then joint. The counselor, a kind woman in the city, unpacked our baggage. Internalized homophobia, generational gaps, societal pressures. Progress was slow. I came out to Lisa privately. She hugged me. I support you, but Dad. It'll break him. Her words echoed the maw ahead. High tension peaked when Mark confronted Tom. Rumors about you and that kid. Tell me it's not true. Tom denied, but guilt ate him. I lied to my son. He told me later, voice breaking. My turn, job offer came. Accept, move away, or stay, fight, decision loomed, heavy with consequences. The job offer dangled like a lifeline or noose. Downtown Chicago, creative freedom, a gay-friendly environment. Take it, Tom urged, but his eyes betrayed sorrow. Don't stay for me. Yet, staying meant confronting the abyss. I accepted, planning a gradual move. But first, truths needed airing. Starting with Jamie. A tense meet at the bar. Why betray me? He confessed fully. Jealousy. I wanted you for myself. Hurt mingled with pity. We could have talked. But bridges burned. Forgiveness came slow. Family next. Dinner with parents, heart pounding. I'm gay, I blurted. Silence deafened. Mom teared up. We suspected, but prayed it wasn't. Dad stood, face red. This family's Catholic. No son of mine. He stormed out. Agony followed. Mom mediated. Give him time. But time was luxury. Dad's cold shoulder lasted weeks. Work dinners canceled if I attended. Tom's world cracked too. Mark, sensing lies, dug deeper. Found our texts on an old phone. Confrontation at Tom's. You're disgusting. Mom's barely cold. And you're with a guy half your age. Shouts echoed. Mark disowned him temporarily. Tom called me shattered. I lost my son. Guilt crushed me. Was I the catalyst? We end this, he said. But I refused. No more running. United in pain, we pushed forward. Public dates in the city, hand-holding defiantly. Whispers followed, but empowerment surged. Society bit back. At work. My new job. Colleagues supportive, but old neighbors shunned. A letter to my parents. Anonymous hate, calling us perverts. Dad softened slightly, admitting fear of judgment. Moral crossroads. Tom's daughter, Emily, supportive but conflicted. Dad, you're happy, but the grandkids. How do I explain? He agonized, choosing us over full family ties. My own damage. Therapy revealed resentment toward my upbringing, stifled by expectations. You traded security for authenticity, the counselor said. The price? Isolation from roots. Tension escalated at a family reunion. Dad cornered me. This thing with Harlan, it's wrong. Argument flared. Love isn't wrong. He relented a fraction. I don't understand, but you're my son. Tom's breakthrough, coming out to his church group. Rejection stung, excommunication loomed, but liberation followed. Yet doubt persisted. Was our love sustainable amid wreckage? A fight over relocation. I wanted Tom to move with me. He hesitated, tied to his home. Resolution teetered. Jamie reappeared, apologetic, offering closure. I was wrong. Forgiving him mended one wound, but scars remained. As moving day neared, choices crystallized. Commit fully or part ways. Packing boxes in my childhood room, memories assaulted, hidden magazines, suppressed crushes. Tom helped, but tension simmered. Come with me, I pleaded. He wavered. My life's here. The gap widened. Youth versus caution. Family intervention. Mom arranged to sit down. Dad grudgingly. If this makes you happy. But Harlan? He's old. Prejudice surfaced. Ageism mixed with homophobia. It's not about age, I countered. It's love. Mom nodded. Dad sighed, a crack in his armor. Tom's family mended unevenly. Mark apologized, sort of. I overreacted, but give me time. Emily embraced us, inviting us to dinner. Progress but fragile. Society's backlash intensified. Online trolls targeted us after a local paper mentioned unconventional romance. Hate mail arrived. Tom's car vandalized. Worth it? I asked. He held me. You are. But internal storms raged. Nightmares of abandonment. Therapy sessions unpacking trauma. You've both sacrificed much, the counselor noted. Indeed. Tom lost friends, church, family warmth. A pivotal betrayal. An old flame of Tom's contacted him, offering normalcy. He confessed immediately. I said no. Trust tested but held. My new life in the city beckoned, vibrant, accepting. First night alone, loneliness hit. Tom visited weekends, but distance strained. High drama at a pride event. We attended together, first public outing. Cheers mixed with jeers. A protester spat slurs. Defiance bonded us. Yet, moral quandary. Tom's health scare. A minor heart flutter. Highlighted age. What if I'm gone soon? He worried. I reassured, but fear lingered. Family thaw, Dad called. Come home sometime. Bring him. Tentative acceptance. As bonds strengthened, a twist. Jamie's wedding invite. Attending meant facing past hurt. We went. Reconciliation flowed. Happy for you, he said sincerely. But peace shattered when Mark relapsed into anger, cutting contact again. Tom spiraled. Maybe I should have stayed hidden. I pulled him back. No regrets. Moving forward, we cohabited in the city. Tom sold his house, a huge sacrifice. Neighborhood adjusted. New friends emerged. Awakening dawned. Love's cost was high, but growth immense. We were stronger, authentic. Settling into our Chicago apartment, the city pulse invigorated. Tom's retirement allowed flexibility. My job thrived. Mornings with coffee, evenings debating politics. Domestic bliss amid chaos. But scars reminded. Family visits were awkward. Dad's hugs stiff, Mom's questions probing. Are you happy? She'd ask. Yes. I'd affirm, meaning it. Tom's kids warmed unevenly. Emily visited, grandkids in tow. Grandpa's friend, we explained simply. Mark thawed via calls, eventual acceptance. Society evolved too. Friends rallied, old neighbors faded. A speaking gig at a LGBT center. We shared our story, inspiring others. The price of visibility, Tom said on stage, voice steady. Yet conflicts lingered. A job promotion required travel. Tom felt sidelined. Argument. You're choosing career over us. Reconciliation. Balance found. Moral reflections deepened. Had we chosen right? Betrayals healed, but echoes remained. Jamie's jealousy a cautionary tale. Damage assessed. Lost relationships, but gained self-worth. Tom's awakening. I wasted years hiding. Mine, I almost did too. Climax resolved in quiet moments. A walk along Lake Michigan. Hands intertwined openly. Worth every tear, he said. As life stabilized, questions arose. Marriage? Adoption? But for now, contentment. In the end, love triumphed. But at what cost? Was sacrificing family ties and societal comfort the right choice, or a selfish pursuit?